Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, level up. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. I wanna ball. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all. Living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, level up. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough.
What's going on, people? Fame Entertainment from LVL152.com, and congratulations, you guys leveled up to 152. This is the Double XP podcast. Listen, we got some stuff to talk about tonight. We're talking some Returnal, Ryse 2, Year 1 PS5, Xbox sales are through the roof, PlayStation sales are through the roof. We got a lot to cover, a lot to talk about. We got some two new guests with us, awesome guests that I can't wait to introduce. But first, I'm going to start with my man, the communications director at level1gaming.com. The man that's always in your DMs, always in your emails, the homie Baron J67. What's going on, Chief?
Oh, man, out here bugging people. Just constantly getting the message out, trying to land these contacts. And here to talk about some Xbox.
Yo, box. Next up, my right hand man, Slim Hugger. What's going on, sis?
Not much. I'm glad to be back. As always, we got some good topics to talk about, and I'm excited to have our guests here, and let's just hop right into it.
The first voice you hear every Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday, the homie DALLAZ.
Man,
I ain't even go, so you can have it.
like you was stage fright. What's going on?
nah, I was froze for a while. And then
You was.
AZ.
You was legit froze for a minute.
What's happening with you? Hey, look, I'm not gonna lie, I'm low key excited. It's my first time actually meeting King David, like actually meeting him.
Yeah.
Sucks it couldn't be face to face at a convention or something, but we get what we can get.
We're gonna get there though.
And then Baron is actually consistently on double XP. What's
Bro.
Hey, don't say that too loud. Hold on.
Almost like he work here, don't it?
Yeah, Cam and everything. It's crazy.
Whoa.
But the point I'm making is, it's a lot of stuff to appreciate today, man. Let's get it.
Yo, next up, probably the most quotable face, the most quotable person you've seen in a long time. Even today, I was like, you see a crown, you got to think of the man, King Dave, from the Iron Lords podcast, the hottest podcast going on Sunday. I tell y'all every week, we got shows Monday through Saturday, but on Sunday, we rest because it's the Lord's Day. King David, what's going on, boss?
God bless. Thank you so much. Oh, man, you made my voice disappear. So humble, got choked up a little bit. I thought usually I'm on the only person with shades. I'm really appreciating your shades, Queen. That's definitely what's up.
Yay! Usually I'm the only one too, so it's like we're vibing today.
Together we good.
She used to be the only one with a headband too, so I decided to start hiding my hairline. So now I'm wearing. So I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and get one too. Hey.
Getting like a 5 head and then a 6 head.
You got the LeBron,
bro.
Listen, when I started getting the ba, brother man cut it off. Like at no point I went to my grandma. I'm like, Grandma, she lied to me. God bless her soul. So, because I had started getting a little bit of grays. She was like, I said, Grandma, is my hair going away? She said, baby, don't you worry about it. If you get grays, you can't go bald. I said, what? Oh, for real? Believe her.
Listen,
my hairline started receding. I said, I'm shaving it off.
Listen, I want to do it. I'm too light skinned to go bald, bro. Like, light skin.
Don't
You
got
got the head for it. It's rounded.
Bro, I'm like,
tell me you can't look like a planted peanut. Cut that.
yo, like I want to so bad, bro, but I'm
Let
so
it go,
scared
bro.
how I'm gonna look, bro. Like,
Let it go.
so I just try to hide it for a little bit, cause, bro.
No.
Bro.
That's LeBron. You're doing LeBron right now. Unless you got Floyd money, let that go, man.
Bro, yo, I'm gonna have to. I might do a stream with me shaving it, bro. I'm gonna look so stupid, bro. Like I know I am,
Let it
bro.
go, because it look like you got like a I don't know what that is. Right there.
Hey, how you gonna flame me up on my own show, bro?
No, I'm just saying. Listen. If I ain't your friend, who is, right?
Hey,
Let that go, man.
hey, that's true. That's true. Yo, last but not least, man, the owner of the Xbox Expansion Podcast and Sipping Ghost. What's going on, Chief?
Yo, thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I didn't know if I was allowed to laugh in those last few minutes. So
It was like, I don't want to be no part of that.
like, oh, no. Y'all, thank y'all for having me. What a great treat getting to see David again, getting to hang out with your crew over here, Fame. This is exciting for me. There's lots to talk about, which is also good. Man, I'm honored. So thank you guys for having me.
See, he didn't laugh because he realized he was God's favorite with a full head of hair. That's why he didn't laugh. He was like,
Yeah. He got the Eddie Munster though.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
starting to- I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
He got the little widow's peak too, man.
Yeah,
Let it
it's
go,
starting to
man.
go. It's starting to go.
Oh,
I'm a
man.
teacher by day. My kids remind me about that hairline quite
Oh,
often.
Yeah.
word.
It was a little lower early in the year. All right, you're
Yeah, exactly. My children got a full head of hair. I just look at them with that hair envy. I remember, and this is your future.
this is it. Yo.
So your daddy goes, so do you go.
Yeah, and I was looking at pictures and stuff. I'm about to find this. I literally used to have like an old school
afro.
70s fro, like legit fro. And I got this job and I cut it and it never grew back. And then this happened. So it was God like, bro, you was dumb. Like you had a gift and you took it away.
Yeah, nah. Check this out. This is what my father said. My father bald headed, right? Look, just like me, bald headed. So I said, man, certain things I'm upset that you gave me, like this bald head, right? He said, nah, the genes you get from your mother, when it comes to your hair follicle. I said, unless you smart or stupid, mommy got a full head of hair. I said, you bald headed. I got this from you. Don't try to blame her for everything, buddy.
These are your genes. What you talking about?
Exactly.
Don't blame
Right
mommy,
here,
bro.
Me and you looking like a peanut. Me and you.
Listen. Before we get started, you got the last week we had on Lord Cut, we had one hell of a show. We got King David today. And David, I want to kind of get a little bit of background, because one thing I learned, I thought was really dope, is how you and Cog, y'all go way back, man, and had that brotherhood from when you guys were younger all the way up into now. You guys are doing amazing things with the Iron Lords, with the YouTube, and then log.net. You guys are doing some amazing things. So kind of tell us a little bit about you and your journey, and how you really start to form, this big personality that you are now and known in the community.
All right, so I've always been that class clown, right? But I was that smart class clown. That class clown that the teacher don't want to call in, don't want to interrupt selling the jokes in the back of the room because I already knew the answer. That's why I'm joking around.
Yeah.
So I'm joking around, and if something can get it, because I'm pretty sure he understands what I'm going with this. I'm telling the jokes in the back of the room, everybody laughing, and then I ask me whatever the science question is or whatever the math question is, and I'll turn around real quickly and tell them X, Y, and Z, and they'll look at me like, he's right, damn it, man. I have to get him out of here. But I grew up in a single family household. Pops wasn't around. Moms grew up in the projects. Poor. Didn't know I was poor. I did not know I was broke, right? Until I'm hearing everybody telling these stories of food stamps. I was like, yeah, I had those. I didn't know I was on welfare, right? I did not know that I didn't know that you had to be on welfare to get food stamps, right? I was food. My mom was having me food, right? But from a young age, really didn't have much as far as, video games and all that other stuff. So when children was getting like toys and stuff from their parents, for Christmas, like PlayStation or Nintendo or whatever, Atari, whatever, not me, right? So I was working. At the age of 10, I'm out there working. I'm inside the supermarkets packing bags. I'm handing out flyers for the Chinese restaurant.
You said at 10?
At 10 years old, bro.
Oh, wow.
My son is 10. So get this, my son 10 years old right now, and he lives a wonderful life. He lives a life that he's my case study. But I'll get into my case study in a second. And because he's an extension of me, so he's what I would be if I was given the opportunity just to be a kid, right? So when the opportunity just to be a kid is taken away from you, you become an adult very early. You know, commerce and stuff like this very, very early. So very early on, I understood hard work equals payment, right? So Chinese restaurant, I'm going in to buy some chicken wings and some French fries because it was like $2.50. The lady in the Chinese restaurant said, and I was always tall for my age. So she asked me if I wanted to hand out flyers, and then she would pay me $50 a project, right? Because at that period of time, if Chinese people went inside the projects, they would get beat up. So she looked at me as her gateway into the projects to get people to, know about them, to call, order their food, and I can go inside, in and out of the projects. Now, again, I'm 10 years old, look like I'm probably 14, but I'm 10 years old. I'm going to every floor, putting up these flyers. And I'm hitting every project. And if you remember the Bronx back in the days, that's very, very dangerous, right? And especially if you're coming from one project to the next project. If anybody's from the West Coast, that's like going from Compton to Watts. You understand? Okay, so now that you get it, I'm there. I don't care because I got to make this money. But also I was getting free food. So I'm fed and I'm making this money. So I also found out my aunt worked in the supermarket as a cashier. So as she was working as a cashier, I would go to the supermarket on 110th Street. I lived on 153rd in the Bronx. I would get on the train, go to her job after school, and pack bags until it finished. In the summertime, I'll be there all day packing bags. I will make over $150 a day.
Hustling.
Right? So, yeah, because you have this cute little kid packing bags with a smile, and I'm packing it right because I know how to play Tetris. You understand me?
Yeah.
Tetris teaches you how to pack stuff inside your car. If anybody plays Tetris and then you going on a road trip and your wife tells you to get your stuff together, how good you pack.
It's going to be on point.
How good you was in Tetris,
Indeed.
Right? So I'm doing this. I'm making my money. And I'm purchasing consoles. I had every console that ever came out, I purchased on my own, from Atari 2600, Vectrex, all the way to the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X now. I have everything. I even went and got my my retro turbo graphics.
Ooh,
I love
we
the
see.
hell out of this thing. Yeah, so I'm about to, hook it up inside my little game room. I have an emulator, but I want my son to look at it and know that he's very fortunate. He grew up in a very fortunate gaming time. So during this period of time, I got older and met Cog, and I call him my cousin because we're like family. He would be my brother, but he's sometimes you don't like your brother, but you love your cousin. You have your favorite cousin.
Everybody got their favorite cousin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He my favorite cousin. Like, so where he grew up in the brownstone, in a small nice area in the Bronx, and I come from the dirty side of the streets or whatever, and we met through a mutual friend, and shout out to Mr. Ha if you watching, and me and him just automatically clicked. So when we clicked, I would stay over there because they keep me out of trouble. Brought all our friends over there. We're gaming and stuff like that. I'm bringing all the new consoles over. They're trying it out or whatever. So if the Super Nintendo, the Famicom comes out, I purchased that, brought that over. We play the games. If Genesis or whatever come out, the new cartridges come out, I purchased that. We purchased that. I was their Game Pass. You understand? So you get a chance to try the stuff, the Neo Geo out and all that other stuff through me. So during this time, we got to Xbox, and then we started doing LAN parties, and we having 16 people inside the house. Now, I don't know how Mama Cog even dealt with 16 crazy dudes inside her house. But because I can't even imagine 2 in my house. If you're making get the hell out of my house, I don't even play that, right? Like, nah, coming to my house. But she understood that, especially in the South Bronx, growing up like that, that I can see where my son is and his friends, and I can give peace of mind to their parents, because this is the only thing I can think of, that their sons are here. There's no trouble. They're not on the streets doing drugs. They're playing actual video games, and she could see it that we were playing video games. And she gave us a safe haven. That's how our Saturdays were, and we were never in trouble. We were never, anything. Just always a good, fun, safe space. And we grew in that space, and we grew closer together. And that's where Channel 5 come from. We're Channel 5. Channel 5, ILP is a smaller subset of Channel 5. We're 30 to 50 strong of us, and we actually, get together, talk and stuff like that. Everybody still talk. But ILP is some of the core members of Channel 5. So when Cog started doing the podcast, and then I jumped on, that automatic magic, and then Sovereign gets in, and that magic starts clicking. All these jokes and stuff that y'all see that we do, we're naturally like that. And when we get together, it's just like we form Voltron, and then that's how you get the Iron Lords podcast. So, it's just
humble beginnings.
Really tight. Yeah, very, very tight. Very, very together.
Yo, all jokes seriously, like much respect to you, bro. Like, to be able to have those humble beginnings, still be a cool ass dude, and be able to provide that life for your son, like you said. Like you.
So let me get into the case study. I totally forgot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So let me get into the case study of this little kid, right? So okay, I always felt that given the opportunity, if I was in an environment where I can flourish, I would have went to wherever I put my mind to, I'm gonna go there, right?
Yeah.
And I still do that stuff, but there's certain little barriers that's in the way, because if you're focusing on one thing, you're not focusing on another. That's how life is.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want him to just focus on schooling and focus on being a kid. Don't worry about being anything else, but being a kid. You don't have to worry about this or worry about that. You want something, good. Your grades speak for it. You get it. All right. So right before this COVID stuff happened, they were going to take him from the 3rd grade and put him into the 10th grade in both my daughters in their high school, because they had a couple of kids that they felt that passed his Common Core test, and he passed the Common Core test with a 99 percentile. Right, in that percentile, they call you a genius. In that genius category, they will place you in different classrooms, and Sebit can attest to this. They put you in these separate classrooms because these children got to be separated from the other children because they are exceptional when it comes to this. They have him in programming classes now in school, in remote training, right, in classes. He made a basketball game during his lunch break where, he shoots the basketball. I've seen him. He's an absolute genius. I say this to say, I'm going up the steps the other day, and I see him playing PUBG. He's the only one alive. His team is dead, and he's going to the circle. As he's going to the circle, there's a couple of dudes there. He looks over to his side real quick. I'm looking at how quick his dexterity is while he's playing the game. He looks over to the side real quick, looks over to the right side. He throws a grenade that side and snipes that side, hits one guy, blows up the other guy, and gets a chicken dinner. At 10 years old, right? Before that, he asked for some money for a DLC for Destiny, right? He wanted the DLC for Destiny. I said, well, when your grades get back, then we'll do it. A couple of days later, he goes, don't worry about it, Daddy. I got it. I said, you got what? I got the money for my DLC. I said, how you do that? He said, well, Game Pass pays you to play games. All I did was just start playing a whole bunch of games, and I made my money, and I put the gift card. I got the gift card, and I brought my DLC.
Hustle.
So I said, that's little me.
Let's
He
go.
didn't need my dollars. He didn't need a penny. He knows what he does best, and he used his own ingenuity to find out how to get it done through the means without no problem, but he used the system to get what he wanted. I said, my little case study is still going on. So I want to see how far my little case study can get.
Bro, that's a smart kid, but you know what? I got this. I'm gonna take care of this. Beautiful. Yeah. Yo, King David, I appreciate you rocking with us, man. Hell of a story. Like I said, humble beginnings, man. Nothing but respect, for what you've gone through and what you've become, man. Like I said, one of the biggest personalities in the gaming community. It's undeniable. The King David is out here, right? It's undeniable.
Thank you.
Yo, our next guest, Insipid Ghost, which I just learned today was a teacher. And it got to be cool as hell having a teacher that's also a gamer or in the gaming industry. That has to be cool as hell. Like, so I guess my first question is, number one, how did you get everything? And number two, like, are your students aware of what you do outside of teaching them what they need to know to be successful adults?
He's like, they are now.
Oh man! First of all, y'all should have let me go first, because King come in here and give me this incredible story.
Like, how am I follow that up, right?
Yeah, I don't get that. Not nearly the same humble beginnings as King, but we were always a console or two behind, and it was always me mowing lawns out there, trying to get my systems as well. But gaming to me was always just escapism, getting away from the real world. I was that kid that I was athletic. I could ball. I mean, I played soccer, did martial arts. I was athletic, but none of them wanted to. You're not at the soccer tournament saying, "Hey, y'all see that new Spider-Man game?" They weren't into that, right? So it was always just me into gaming, and so that's what I did. I didn't even go out. Like, I just stayed home and played games, and as long as my grades were okay, my parents were cool with that. Kind of reawakened once I played a game like Metal Gear Solid. That was when it shifted to where adult me was able to get, not adult me, but like teenage me was realizing gaming is more than just run and jump. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Storytelling and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this is real. My hobby is a passion. It's not just hitting buttons, wasting time. And then got older. I mean, in college, I sold plasma. I was hustling in college, not nearly like King, mind you. But I had to find a way to get 360. Yeah, dude,
I need that Xbox.
You said you was selling plasma?
Dude, I'm telling you, let me tell you about this plasma place. They were set up a mile from our university. A mile. So depending on time of day, you could just see kids shuffle in and be like, "Oh, the morning classes got out. Oh, this section got out." Yeah, man, that was how I ate. That was how I bought games. I mean, do jobs and stuff for teachers and whatnot, professors. But yeah, that's how I bought Gears of War. I wanted to, that was one way to do it. But yeah, man, I played games my whole life. Loved them, as it were. Started hosting or co-hosting the Xbox Drive with Sean Capri for a bit. That's how we got to E3. Xbox Canada was good enough to send Sean, which meant he had to take his co-host, which was me. So I got to go there, meet King, meet all these great people, which was a blast. And then Sean and I parted ways on Xbox Drive, but I started up the Xbox Expansion Pass only because we wanted to do different things. That's a fun, chill show. I wanted to be a little more serious, have guests on from the industry, do interviews, that kind of thing. And XEP has been going. Episode 80 will be coming out this Monday, and I bring on guests from around the industry, developers, publishers, content creators to a certain extent, but really it's about sharing the message of the inside, like what's it like as an indie dev. And like recently I just had on in this last episode Rama Ismail, who does a lot of great work for developers, indie developers specifically. He made one of the most popular iPhone games, made stuff for Vita, but he also made the press kit tools that a lot of indie devs use that are free to help indie devs out. But it was so cool, and like this is why I like doing it, because he was sharing stories about what it's like to be an Arab developer post 9/11, what it's like to be an Arab developer in a country where, okay, GDC is taking place in an English-speaking country that is so expensive to get through or get to if you're in this place or that place. And so to hear his stories about he would travel to Ghana, Guatemala, all over the globe in these countries where they don't have GDCs or game developer conventions. What's it like to be an indie dev in those countries? And you're just sharing me stuff like that. I love hearing those kind of stories. And so that's what I try to do on XEP and limited run games. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them.
Yeah, they finally sent me my Scott Pilgrim. It took forever. It took 17,000 months, but it's here. I'm super happy to play
Got my token.
Hey,
there you go.
Love limited run.
So I talked to them today, and among the topics was why they haven't made any Xbox games.
Yep, that's been my biggest grief. But continue.
let me just tell you, Fame.
Insider info.
You should listen.
You gotta watch EXP, man. XEP. Sorry.
That's right.
There it is.
That's right. So yeah, it's cool, man. I love talking games and hanging out with people. And to answer your question about my students, they know, and most of them do not care. Mr. Lowell, what are you talking about? what do you play, Mr. Lowell? You play 2K? And I'm like, I play Fortnite and Sea of Thieves. And they laugh at me all the time. No, we talk all the time about games, all types of games. And like, this is a quick story real quick. I have several young ladies of color who want to make games. Do you know how hard it is to sell that to a kid? I just got hardcover this book, 100 Women in Gaming. And people like Bonnie Ross are in there, and so many other incredible names. And to be showing my kid, whose name I won't share, but like, I swear to goodness, she teared up, you know. And like, we're wearing masks, so you know, like I had to give her a fresh mask because she was just so excited.
Representation, baby.
That's right. Yes. So that's my favorite part about sharing my hobby with my kids is the ones that realize, yo, it's a career. It's not just a programming thing. You can be a writer. You can be an artist. You can be an executive. You want to wear a suit all day and still do something dope. You can be running the studio and working with people. And there's PR. There's so many jobs in gaming that people don't think about, you know? So, yeah,
well,
that's my spiel.
It's just listen, man, they marginalize us from the beginning. Oh, you playing those kid games.
Yeah.
So like if you're told that when you're younger, you're playing those kid games, in your head you dismiss it as a actual place where you can grow financially and grow socially. All right, because you turn into some type of introvert because you feel like there's a stigma attached to it. Now we are the biggest, medium of entertainment above movies.
Used to be porn. Shows. Not to be vulgar, but it used to be porn was wherever porn went, that was the industry standard.
Well, it's still porn on PlayStation. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. The number one consumption of the PlayStation player is porn. And I'm just saying only because the studies show that. I'm just saying because the studies show that. I'm not saying because there's any slander to it. So like you said, so goes the porn industry. So goes the groups, and that's how Blu-ray actually won the battle between HD DVD. They adapted porn, and automatically HD DVD was out the building.
That's exactly what won that technology for Sony.
Exactly. So let's just keep it a buck. Don't think I'm just throwing shade. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying the truth. Tell the truth, shame the devil. I'm just saying.
It was an interview at the beginning of COVID, Big Rona, that. I think it was one of the marketing people from Netflix came out and was like, okay, what's your biggest competitor? Is it Hulu? Is it Disney Plus? And I was like, no, it's video games because we can't compete. Somebody's going to play for 8 hours and they might watch an episode or two of our show.
Yeah.
You can't compete with that. I'm like,
this is
damn,
true.
I didn't think of that. But now I'm thinking of porn because now are you speaking from experience or are you just reading the numbers?
PlayStation is off. I'm with the Game Pass dude. No, but the thing is, doesn't that put fear inside Netflix head when they see something like Game Pass, where before there has been services that came out that offered video games as a service, but nobody was ever able to get that combination until Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius has unlocked that combination. As we can see, the 23 to 25 million users are using Game Pass, and I figure by the end of the year we should have 31 to 35 million of subscribers being with the great content that should be out by the end of this year. That should put a bone-chilling thought in the heads of these streaming services going forward, as far as Netflix, Disney, Hulu, and the likes, because if they can get your gaming time, like you said, to sit there for more than 4 hours, there's no 4-hour movies. Shout out to Zack Snyder.
Hey.
That man can make a movie.
I know, right? Good. Got me watching it 3 times.
That's right. I bought that statue, King.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, look, it's not a King's Day. It's $150, but it's Henry Cavill Black Suit Superman's rising up. Like, yeah, pre-order
You got it.
Wait, does he got the flowing hair though? That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for the hair.
And no
man.
mullet. There's no mullet. It's not 90. It's not 90s Superman.
As long as he doesn't have that mustache.
The mullet was supposed
to have the
there.
mustache in the bed. Remember, he was dead, but his hair was still growing. That makes no sense.
Never made sense.
Yeah. I think that should be something for them to look out for, in the future. We're coming.
Indeed. Say, look, I want to give it the first topic today because this kind of popped up. Like, I was at work all day, right? I look at my phone. I've been on the road, and I come home and everyone's talking the Mandalorian. I'm trying to figure out what in the high heaven is happening with the Mandalorian. But of course, you see Phil Spencer with his background is trending again because every time he goes on, I think today was on with GamesBeat, and so people are saying the Mandalorian statue and automatically trying to put 2 and 2 together. So I want to start with Dallas. I know Dallas is probably the resident Star Wars Mandalorian fan on the panel. So Dallas, if let's say this is a culmination of something happening between Microsoft and Lucasfilms, because as you guys know, Lucasfilm Games, right? It's Lucas Games. Mm-hmm. We already know Bethesda is working on a Lucas game with Indiana Jones. Could you possibly start seeing this happen? If so, would that be something you want as someone who is a Star Wars / Mandalorian fan?
I think it's entirely possible. And it's, I think the only reason we question it is because Star Wars is such a big deal. Mm-hmm. But if they could grab Bethesda, if they could get a freaking Indiana Jones license, of course they can get Star Wars. And then on the side of that, you know how much I like Star Wars games. And even though, full disclosure, I haven't finished Fallen Order, but I will. That game is amazing.
I'm right with you.
And if I was to get something close to that, like if I was to get a good bounty hunter game, or what was the game that was in development a while back, and then they just scrapped it, but it looked amazing.
17?
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
If we could get a sort of spiritual replacement to that, like, don't get my hopes up, man. Why'd you have to start talking about that? Especially considering the Mandalorian and all that goes with that. I mean, I wonder how easy that would be, considering they already use Unreal Engine for the environments in the show. Mm-hmm. I wonder how easy that would be to just translate over. Oh dang! Now you got the gears turning in my head, man.
David, you think Phil really gonna do it for us? Drop us a Mandalorian title, day one, Game Pass.
All right. So we all know that the Division is dead. Rest in peace, R.I.P. Shout out to Outriders. So what is what's the company that makes that Division? Massive, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So we all know that it's an open secret that they're doing a Star Wars game, right? Mm-hmm. Open secret. Everybody know? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Open secret. Now everybody's thinking, what can that game be? What can it be? Think about this. If you can. If you follow the Mandalorian, then you know the Mandalorian Wars on Mandar, right? If they do a game like that, and this could be that statue, this could be this reason why, and they're doing that game, and Massive has dropped the bag or got the bag dropped off to them, and that game is date side Game Pass. And it's a Star Wars game that is chronicalizing the Mandalorian Wars on Mandar, and you're fighting for the black saber, So these things can actually happen. They can transpire. Think of it like a Battlefield type of game where you got to squad up with your teams and you're going in the same Division mode. Because the thing that hurt the Division was there weren't like iconic weapons. Mm-hmm. Let's say you're trying to get the Boba Fett gun, or you're trying to get the Mandalorian spear. It's different things that you can do inside that game that can make the game more iconic. And being that you're seeing how Outriders has taken that same formula from Destiny, from Anthem, from Division, and came up with their own formula, it can be highly successful given in a game of service type of thing. So I do believe the Star Wars IP attached to something like iconic, like that environment, that world, to bring in those Star Wars people, and then put inside an environment where it can just flourish and grow in Game Pass, where you can get the maximum number of eyes on it, can turn it into something life changing. So yeah, I think that's very possible, and it probably is. And if I just want y'all to remember this day, remember what I said, and then come back to me and let me know if the prophet is right.
And you know what? I coined the term the Game Pass stimulus package. If you can put a game with the Game Pass stimulus package, no matter what it is, very little. You don't even need much ads. Just the Game Pass stimulus package. Look at Outriders. Yeah. Like, look, that saved that game in my personally.
Yeah.
I don't, man, because look, even with all of its faults, people are still running it like crazy.
Play it every day.
Playing it. That's what I'm saying. And why? Because I didn't throw any extra money into it, and I got it.
Oh, did you buy the DLC? No. Have anybody on this panel brought the DLC for it?
There's some DLC.
Okay, so they have DLC inside the game, and you can get a master. You can is a certain gun in that game that you can get to a 99 percentile if you roll it right. You can keep rolling. Is a trick inside the game, but it's DLC for this game. Now I never purchased the game, but I purchased DLC. So let's say 1 in 6. Make this a case study. 1 out of 6 people purchases that game DLC. Right now, let's say you have how many millions of people that's playing it now. Let's say you have 10 million people on Xbox even putting eyes on it. Out of that 10 million, let's say you have 1% purchase that DLC. So you have 1 million out of that 10 million that purchases that. That's 1 million at $6.99. Now we're at $7 million easy that comes inside. They're making money in magic money, talk about it all the time, off of something that they're just putting eyes in and just letting it grow. Like you said, you were more inclined to play the game because you paid nothing, right? Same thing here. I think that had Game Pass been bigger, or people weren't as afraid to invest in it, Anthem would have launched inside Game Pass, and Anthem would still be here to this day. Because the only thing that killed Anthem and it killed the Avengers is the fact that these games
about to blow her lid.
The
ability to grow. Just saying.
No, it's facts.
You say Anthem because Hugger's probably the biggest Anthem fan I've ever known. Like just the fact that they die, I know it kills her inside every day.
Hugger,
it kills me inside because they put it on EA Play. It's on EA Play, and they put it on Game Pass, and I've come on the show several times and talked about how much I think EA is a scummy company, and I don't support what they do. And the fact that Titanfall 2 has gotten a resurgence,
bro, because it's such a good game, bro.
They canceled. It's not because of Mass Effect, because I already know the people that were working on it. It's not because of Dragon Age. The team's already assigned. It was like 20 people working on Anthem, and they canceled it for what reason? No reason? Cool, EA. You're not getting my money anymore. I don't care. But I will play it on EA Play for free. Free.
Yo, I'm 100 hours in on Anthem. I mean, I'm done with it now, but like I put 100 in on that. Just flying around felt so good. That moment when you just ran forward and took off.
It felt so good.
It's never been beat in a video game.
I am Iron Man, bucko.
That's Iron Man game.
Right. That's right. And you know what I'm not Iron Man in? I'm not Iron Man in Marvel's Avengers. Square.
Oh
God. Getting me so mad.
How do you release Outriders before you release Black Panther in your game? I just
I like it even more when Black Panther gets there.
Dude, can you imagine if Avengers if they had done what Microsoft was bold enough to do, and several other companies, and said, you know what, it's not ready. We're waiting. We're waiting. If they had launched in February or March with not with 2 archers as their new
that was a mistake.
Respect to Hawkeye, but like that's just bad. That's just
back-to-back archers,
right? And done a little bit more to clean up that combat. Maybe let me fight somebody that's not a robot. I don't know. But if they had done just a little bit of time, imagine how big. There was nothing in February. Outriders is huge, deservedly for fun gameplay, but it kind of dies off after 30-40 hours. But I'm happy. I'm a Game Pass subscriber. I got 30-40 hours that I balled with. But imagine in February or March if Avengers had come out, and then Black Panther was they weren't crunching in that time, so Black Panther could have been that much closer. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
we
I
wouldn't
say
have got
this.
two archers back to back.
I say this to say that the roadmap for Avengers versus the roadmap for Outriders. Now, you can surface play Outriders just because I just heard you say 30 hours and it kind of tails off. You can surface play Outriders, but there's a minor minutia to Outriders where you have to become a scientist, because I have a composition book and I sit there and I'm running my attributes and I'm running different clothing. It's completely unapologetically unconventional, where you can put a blue with a purple and get attribute set out of it that you need that takes your character. If you're running, an anomaly set, or if you're running a firepower set, depending on your class, that you can pull something out of it that's completely different. So that game, you have to be an absolute chemist, and you can dig inside the game. I found that inside the Avengers, that minutia, that loot crafting, that loot getting is missing from it, because if I get a piece of loot and I put it on my character and I don't see it, then it takes away from that.
Exactly.
There's nothing iconic about
we're all the same
icons that's there, right? So now you're just getting loot and you're putting it on it because there's a higher stat roll, and it just gives me more shield. So like you said, if they would have incubated that game a little bit more, and then they would have probably switched around the DLC and gave you, instead of give you Hawkeye first, because you was looking for Hawkeye instead of Kate Bishop, you get Hawkeye first because you got that Maestro story, and then you go with Black Panther, and then you bring in Kate Bishop, and then you go with Ant-Man, and then you bring it that way. I think they had a disconnect with the services of the people, and I thought they wanted to capitalize on the Disney Plus stuff that was coming out and be a part of that. If they would have gave it that proper time and respect, then it could grow. But again, PlayStation Now or PlayStation Plus has it there now. I would love to see the engagement numbers with that crowd on that game at this point in time. Can it get a resurgence?
Hey,
I want to. With Avengers, it's also different because Marvel is also, I think, when
controlling.
Marvel is very controlling, but there was also some real life stuff that was happening. Like at the time that they announced, first started talking about the Hawkeye DLC, it was when Jeremy Renner, I think, threatened to kill his wife there. So they're kind of like, oh, let me back up on this, and kind of back up. And then they should have done other things. I mean, I'm a fan of doomed games. I play Red Dead Redemption 2 online. That's the biggest waste of your time you can play. You got to wonder what these companies are doing. Besides firing people and taking bonuses for their CEOs.
No, it's so wild how they leaned. They banged heavy on just the IP. Hey, it's a Marvel game. And God. And then give people the Spider-Man. They still haven't even given people the Spider-Man.
Yo, if you got a PlayStation and you bought it on PlayStation because of Spider-Man, the fact that you ain't got that yet, you wasted.
Right?
Wow, it's garbage.
Aren't they used to that though? Waiting 5 years. I mean, don't. I mean, no shade to a PlayStation fan, but you're used to getting a see you buy now, see you later. They used to not getting their dessert until after the restaurant is closed. They used to come back 2 days later. So don't act like they're upset. They can wait. They used to it.
Anytime David says no shade and no slander, he just said some shade or some slander. Like every time, he's like no slander, but he already said it.
but real talk, kind of piggybacking off of that, think about Returnal. Let's be 100% real here. Returnal released on any other console outside of being a PlayStation exclusive would not be successful.
I wanted to talk about that.
It's not going to be successful now.
Whoa.
Hey, it's not going to be successful now. You got 7 million consoles out. It's a PlayStation only game. Check this out. How about this? Let's play this game, right?
I'm ready. All right.
So they got their PlayStation 5s, right? And everybody's running around with these numbers because now the PlayStation fan base is crazy on my timeline. Hey, did you see that Ratchet and Clank? Ooh, right? And I'm like, yo, okay, that's why I got a PlayStation.
All right, Mickey Mouse.
Hopefully it do what it's supposed to do. Yo, but that Returnal's coming out this week. Okay, you think Returnal is The Last of Us. this is where it's going to break your heart. That's $70 that you're going to get. This is a roguelike, brother. So the first time you die, you starting from the beginning, and it's not no story. You starting from your checkpoint. You let me know how much you really like that game. And first of all, you guys don't buy games because there's 125 million so-called of you out there, and not 1% purchases your games. So who's really purchasing your games? And you guys are the TCL dudes, so you're waiting for a deal anyway. So you're not spending $70 anyway. So don't hit me until Black Friday. I got you, and I know exactly who you are. Now, if it was in Game Pass, yes, I'll engage. And you're going to tell me I'm a budget gamer, but I'm not a budget gamer. You know why? I'm a frugal, smart gamer because I got a bunch of games over here, and that game is not worth $70, and I'll stake my name on it.
Yo.
Yeah.
Think about the Matrix when bullets are being fired. I'm dodging the bullets to aiming toward David because they coming. I'm just like, hell no, hell no.
No,
Baron and I have been in a call with Fame where he has to put on his dad voice, and I'm like, I had to turn away when King was talking because I'm like, I feel scolded, and I'm not even a part of this.
I'm just saying.
The whole time, Fame over here like the views and opinions of King David. Dude.
I get that for Iron Lords every Sunday. Don't worry about that.
Hey, no, but the part that gets me, that bothers me most about it is, one, I've always been against the increase of cost of games.
Right.
That's bullcrap. With cosmetics, with microtransactions,
You make
with
enough
the
money.
amount of people gaming now.
With the
Don't try to tell me that you need to increase the price of games. And then everybody's using the same damn engines. So that's a whole nother argument in itself. But the issue with this one is in the beginning when they first brought this game out, they were not telling people the truth, and they were out here hiding the fact that it was a roguelike, because you can't charge me $70 for a roguelike experience. Not when I can go down the Nintendo Switch list and pick up 1 million of them for that same price.
I mean,
Like,
you can get Dead Cells on Game Pass, and Dead Cells is going to be even better, and it's the same concept.
I think I've seen somewhere that somebody said Dead Cells was better, but
I love that game.
Yeah, it just, and the thing that's gonna burn them about Returnal is the fact that they weren't honest until the end. Because now people are saying that they're starting to say it's a roguelike. You go look it up on Google, it pops up roguelike. You wait until Zero Dark 30 to start,
Wait, but
telling the truth.
aren't you seeing the trend here? Jim Dance Moves Ryan has always waited to the last minute to reveal his secret sauce for you. Like he tells you guys.
I don't like that term.
Listen, that's a Mark Cerny reference, right? He said they got the secret sauce inside their box. That's all I'm saying, pause.
Oh, no, that's even worse.
This is what I'm saying. I'm just repeating what he said. He said, "Send me your ears." Anyway,
Yo, the slander.
He said that they believe in generations, right? And then after you pre-ordered, oh yeah, it's coming out on the PlayStation 4 as well. I mean, after they told you Miles Morales can only be done on PlayStation 5, then they told you it's coming out on the PlayStation 4 as well. And then we won't be supporting the PlayStation 4 going forward. Then we'll support them for the next 4 years. So you thought that you was getting a new banger. You thought you was getting a Last of Us type of game.
Yep.
No, you're not. But it looks pretty.
Yo,
It
Ghost,
definitely looks pretty.
Ghost, you definitely like you got
the
something to
math
say
breakdown.
about this.
Well,
Yeah, I agree with
I
you.
like the numbers that he's throwing out there because, and I don't say this with nearly the panache that he might have, but 7 million PS5s is nothing to scoff at given a pandemic production. That's a big win for Sony and Sony fans if you care about that. I mean, they're a company, so maybe not your best friend. Calm down. But like that's a big win for Sony, right? But where's your market penetration, Paul? It's like, how are you going to get? How are you going to sell? How many are you going to sell on 7 million units for a game like Returnal that is being marketed unjustly? If anybody knows what it's like to be marketed the wrong game, it's Xbox fans. We've been fooled throughout that whole Don Matrick era. We got marketed the wrong game and we were sold the wrong thing. That's what Returnal looks like. Now, real talk, I think Returnal looks like a blast. But when I'm hearing this no difficulty thing, when I'm hearing this roguelite element stuff, I'm like, yo, is that worth my $70? Because my $70 in the Xbox ecosystem travels way further.
Mhm.
Way further.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I used to defend those TCL kids because until a few months ago I was one.
Shut
You
up.
know, I had to get that LG 65 and
Who
everything
did
else.
that for you?
You did that. I know. But you know, like I get gaming on a budget, and if I'm a budget gamer and I'm looking at a $70 Returnal, and I don't know that, but I think it'll have legs when it gets down to 30, or when they put it in
Oh,
PlayStation
yeah.
Plus.
Oh yeah,
Heck
That's
yeah.
where
I don't
roguelike
think-
should
okay.
be.
Well,
oh
I
yeah.
don't think it exactly looked like a bad game. Like
They're just.
I get the
lying.
control vibe, and you know, but yeah, like Baron said, they just lied straight up. That don't mean it really be a bad game, and I don't think people would even have as much negative to say about it if PlayStation had a Game Pass equivalent.
And you know who that
Yeah.
hurts? Housemark, who
Yep.
never made a bad game. All
Yep.
their games are good.
You know what? You know what? Oh, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go please.
Rock, paper, scissors. Hey, no, I was gonna say. Remember, that also happened with No Man's Sky. They
Yes.
pumped it up. They pumped it up. Had Sean Murray sitting there sweating, like sitting there in
He
front of
did
the
that
cameras
himself,
lying.
though.
But-
Sean Murray went on
but
Jimmy Fallon and
remember,
said a lot of
But
stuff.
come on, but Sony
Yeah.
was behind him though. He wouldn't
Yes.
have did that without the approval. They knew what he was producing. They seen it.
They don't ever back down from Blowvation. Let's not act like Sony will. If you self-promote in your game and you're gonna tell them it's gonna be the next thing to slice bread, of course they want to hit. They don't care about that because I believe that the boardroom runs Sony. Now I say
Yes.
this right. I would have saw Returnal, and I would have if I was Jim Dan Smooth Ryan, God forbid. But I kind of am in my own sense. I'm a numbers business guy, right? And I know his approach to things, right? If I would have took that long view of PS Now, I would have thrown Returnal and PS Now day and date. It doesn't take away from your fan base because it's okay. If 7.8 million people purchase your PlayStation 5. You're talking to a niche audience right now. You're talking to the starving few right now who actually has the opportunity to have your console in hand. I don't know how many of those consoles is inside greedy little scalpers' hands like myself, but I say this to say, let's just say the number is like 7.2 million as an actual gamer's hands. And actually, out of the 7.2 million, actually, let's say 5 million of those are true gamers starving for games. And if you would have threw it in PlayStation Now, you would have made sure that your PlayStation Now subscription has gone up because it actually went down, but the engagement numbers, and it has gone up. But you put this game in there, date and date. You're teaching your fan base, this is the place to play. And if you're unsure about something, you can play it here. You can still purchase the game, people. Newsflash, even if it's available in your service. But don't take short money against long money. Always remember to bet on yourself. And I don't think PlayStation, this is where the identity comes in, and they are short-sighted. They looking to sell you a console and looking to sell you a game, and you can get that purchase and walk out the store. Microsoft is looking to make sure that you're a part of their system for life. And that's where the long game comes in. And when they understand that, because we're changing, I think Returnal will have a longer life. Like you said it's going to have a life at $30.
Yep.
It would have a longer life. It would have dropped here, and it would have still hit that 70 and still garner more speed at 30 with the discount in PlayStation Now. That's just my opinion of it. Because I would have brought
I
it
think
down.
that's entirely true, though.
I think one of
I
that.
sort of understand. I can sort of understand the reason for the lie. Not excusing it, but I
Right.
sort of understand because me and Baron, when we were first looking at all the stuff about the game before it dropped, we had a conversation like, dang, it seemed like they trying real hard not to say roguelike.
They were working hard.
And then it hit us in the back of the head. It was like, oh, snap. Duh, because people wouldn't buy it at $70. Because if it was a roguelike, they undervalue it. Because the game just might be the next best thing since sliced bread. But you wouldn't give it that chance because they said roguelike.
Mm-hmm.
So
I got a
kinda
feeling this
understand the
game-
reason for it, but there's no excuse for a lot.
this game gonna be used at GameStop for $60 within a week. Cause folks gonna be taking it back when they realize they're not expanding in the game. That it's harder than what they thought it was. Oh, I'm doing the same level over and over again. You know, this isn't a typically how a roguelike would look. It doesn't look like it on the surface. So people who aren't like us, you know, in the know and kind of understand what's going on, this ain't gonna be taken back. You're gonna catch it at 60. It's gonna be 60 at GameStop real fast. I almost guarantee. And that's not no hate toward the game.
You see what I posted? Amazon Canada right now, it's $90 for pre-order.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. No.
Yeah.
My boy in Australia pays $106 a game.
Oh my.
You know what makes me upset about all that is it's something that I feel like Microsoft has figured out in the last few years. It's that when you do games dirty like this, you're hurting those developers.
Yeah.
Like you are hurting those games and those developers and the hard work that's going into them. And Microsoft did their fair share of that. That Recore launched too early and messed up.
Yep.
I swear to God, Returnal looks like a Recore in some ways, you know? Gameplay.
It
Doesn't
does.
But it's not a roguelike. It's a shooter. It's
Yeah.
a shooter. It's a combat shooter that you can start from a checkpoint and, you know, you don't lose anything. You guys really, if you don't know what a roguelike is, you're fitting to find out.
you fitting to find out.
It's hard. People are saying it's on the level of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Could you? I mean, we all have that experience where we like the first time I loaded up Vampire was, this is a Soulsborne. Oh, okay. Damn. This better be good. But I know a lot of people won't go, this better be good and give it. They'll be like, all right, take this back.
Gone.
I'm not playing this.
That happened with me with Demon Souls on the PlayStation 3. Now, I played Demons. That's when I really found out these games ain't for me. Like this ain't here for me. I'm not.
Same here, brother.
Right. So somebody just hit me and was like, "Oh, they said Demon Souls on the PlayStation 5." I said, first of all, I would like to see those numbers on that because it's only available there. I would like to see those numbers on that because I'm pretty sure 95% of y'all didn't purchase. I know 5% did. And I said, I damn sure wasn't one of them because I knew back when I played it, because it's just a remake of an old game with a new face. Shout out to the old girl with a slimmed up waist. You think you knew. You not new, boo. I know you. Anyway.
Red bottoms don't wipe away the miles.
I know, right? Tell the truth, shame the devil. Anyway, been here, seen these corners before. Anyway, I'm just saying. I was not gonna do it.
Game is gone.
Yo. This man ain't got no chill. None.
No, I don't. I'm actually wild. When I'm not on Sundays, I'm actually wilder.
Yo, you know, y'all brought up Recore, and I loved Recore. As much as issues that it had, I think that's one of those Xbox titles that should have got a bigger budget sequel. Because it had a lot of potential. But one thing I want to start with Ghost, because we're hearing that we might get a sequel to one of them launch titles, which is Ryse. I love Ryse. So, Ghost, I want to get your thoughts about the potential of Ryse 2. Because we're hearing, I believe it's Nick from Xbox Era is the one that really came out and said, hey, Ryse is happening. But it may or may not be multi-platform. For whatever that means, PC, Xbox, PlayStation. But, Ghost, I want to get your thoughts about Ryse and it's possibly coming back with a sequel.
Here's the thing. Microsoft's got to get away from the games that carried them through Xbox One and the only thing they could keep saying, which was Gears, Forza, Halo, right? They got to get away from that. That is step one. Bethesda's a big part of that, but Bethesda's recent and they were buying studios for a lot of reasons. And one of the things that they do quietly is they get these studios and they have multiple teams inside them. Grounded's a good example of one that's hitting pretty well. Bleeding Edge is a good example of one that did not. But they're trying to get multiple teams and multiple studios. And if you've got all this talent and if you've got IP that you need to use that is not kind of part of those pillar franchises that you've over-relied on, you've overstressed those pillars. Gears 5, especially the High Busters, it's great. man, it's not exciting anybody anymore the way that it would have back in the day. So you need to excite people, and what gets people excited? All these acquisitions you're doing, a lot of this stuff with Perfect Dark, the initiative, and some of these newer titles that they're coming out with. But Ryse 2 would be a win for the fans that were there on day one and got burned, because Ryse had a lot of cool ideas.
Ryse
It
was a
really
good
did.
game.
It was beautiful in its time, 900p
Still
and
holds
all,
up.
like it really was. Yeah, it really would be a wonderful gift, shout out. I don't know how you would word that, but homage to the people that were there on day one for the Xbox One, when maybe the Xbox One wasn't really there for them in the ways that we would want. And I think that'd be a big win for them in terms of mind share. And they've been knocking it out of the park in terms of mind share of late. Not to mention, Game Pass would be a great way to deliver a Ryse experience, because for those people who did not play Ryse or were just not in on Xbox One at the launch, maybe they're jaded on that concept or that idea. Game Pass is a great way to say, hey, welcome back, get back in here, try this. And I think Game Pass is a great delivery service for that kind of game. So if it is real, and I don't know the guys at Xbox Era all that much, if their sources are sound and they're rocking it, heck yeah. Gamers deserve that. Xbox gamers deserve a good sequel to Ryse, spiritual or in-name Ryse 2, whatever it is, because that game does hold up, and it is a good game. You take out some of that Kinect stuff and really just focus on the combat, you got something special there. And that's an era that hasn't really been explored in the same ways. I mean, Assassin's Creed kind of danced around that Rome era here and there, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
So.
But King, Phil gotta lock that up, right? Like hearing that it might be multiplayer, they kind of take a little bit away from the folks who've been, because a lot of us been saying, yo, Ryse is a part of the most underappreciated game launch title on the Xbox. Like Ryse been that game for a while. People just ain't never
It was
respected
their
it.
only game.
It
It was
really
their
was.
only game, chopping off heads and arms, and you could decapitate and
300.
slice off limbs, and it was beautiful. It's still a beautiful game now. The thing about it is they didn't own Crytek, they didn't own the IP, they didn't own a lot of things. So when you don't own something and you didn't lock it up, you didn't put a ring on it, what happens? She's able to go anywhere she wants, do whatever she want to do, and all you can do is just look from a distance. Shout out to MLB. You're always gonna catch the shade. It's coming. But I'm just saying, just to say that, yeah, if the game comes out and it's multi-plat, so what? You know, if it does come out, so what? They got to pay $70. I'm pretty sure Phil Dominus Maximus, Aurelia Spencer will find a way to make sure that it's inside Game Pass. And for those subscribers that are inside the Xbox ecosystem, then fine, they will actually be participating in that manner. If not, so what? I mean, game where it's best, right? And if more eyes can be seen on this game, good, then everybody can know that it's a great game. Because I think that it was a fantastic game. I think that the sins of the past will be revisited in the future. If you didn't lock it up, then it's going to go someplace else. It's going to pop up later. We've been asking for this game, and I know everybody was like, Ryse, but then y'all saw a multi-plat. Y'all was like, oh, no. It don't hurt me if you play it. It doesn't hurt me at all. It doesn't hurt me if it's available on that console, because I say this to say in the future, right? And this is the scenario that I've been trying to explain to everybody, because Sony is in a fire sale type of situation, right? And when you're in a fire sale type of situation, you're trying to make money anywhere you can with stuff that you got in your house, right? It's called a garage sale. You're looking around your house. What can I sell? Oh, I can sell that. I own that. I can sell that. I own that. So they've been doing that. They did the deal with Netflix. Excuse me. They did the deal with Disney. It looks like the same deal, but at the same time, now they're going to do a video deal. So they're going to put their IPs wherever they can put their IPs. Let's say this case study, and I'm pretty sure they're looking just the same way Major League Baseball is looking at Game Pass getting Major League Baseball, right? And they say, let's say only 1 million people or less, because when they had 120 million people on PlayStation, only 1 million or less purchased MLB. Now, let's say they sell 3-4 million on Xbox and sold 1 million on the PlayStation 5, right? what point in time do you say we're losing money in console sales and we're good at making software? Why don't we put our games where we can see the maximum amount of views? And we can also have an app where that can be streamed and played.
Game Pass stimulus.
Why not, right? So I say this to say, of course, Ryse can be fantastic. Ryse 2 can be fantastic. It can be set in medieval times. It can be a great game. If it's multi-plat, even better. Even better. Let the PlayStation owners play it. Let the PC owners play it. Let the Xbox owners play it. Because Microsoft did themselves a disservice. This is when different heads was in charge and they didn't lock the game down. When you don't control the IP, when you don't control the company, you don't control the tech, you are at the mercy of the developer. You're learning a serious lesson right now. That's why the ZeniMax deals happen. That's why they go out and buy Obsidian. That's why they go out and buy these companies like Ninja Theory. So you can control a company, you control the tech, you control the IP, and you're no longer at the mercy. Is this game right here, I believe Ryse, this game right here that they were going back and forth with for so long, put them in this buy everything mode so this can never happen again. And it's showing itself right now. So when you're at the mercy of it, just game where you can get it. Just get the game out because it was a great game. That's my opinion of it.
Hey, I'll jump in on.
Yeah,
I
go
wanna
ahead.
Second that, because the more people that play the game, the better it is for the developers
Indeed.
and the community. I mean, Outriders without Game Pass doesn't do what it did.
Indeed.
And it would have died. Well, I don't know that it would have died, but it wouldn't have done what it did.
Yeah.
At the very least, we could say that comfortably without hyperbole.
Oh no, don't you put that on. Don't you put that on Outriders.
Anthem 1 didn't have the server connection problems, right?
That's true.
Okay, now
the wild load screens.
right. So you take those server connection problems with your $70 purchase, and how fast is it gonna catch the bushes? Pause. I'm just saying, how fast are you going to throw it out the window before and go down to GameStop and try to get a refund or call Microsoft and get your refund? You can't get it back at Sony because they hang the phone up on you and change the game tag. You log in, you got a different game tag. Who the hell?
Hugger.
Sony's like, we realize your game is broken. The devs have said they're broken, but we're not giving you your money for Cyberpunk back. Come on.
And King's talking about Ryse putting them into buy mode. I think it was Ryse and Sunset Overdrive. Losing Insomniac.
Yes.
Big hit. I mean, and this is before Insomniac was spitting out Spider-Man. Incredible games in their own right, but like losing those to the IP and the talent with those games, I think that makes a big dent in how they want to approach things going forward. I mean, Alan Wake 2 is in production. They're working on it. So with Alan Wake, like that was an Xbox game. All right, something there needs to be done. They need to make sure that doesn't happen again. And I would have to think that there are shades or echoes of people there that still think about Mass Effect, which is now better for being multi-plat, but it was an Xbox thing at one point.
Hey guys, Dallas, you probably hearing that. I apologize. We got to cut the show short. We got a tornado.
Yeah.
I know Dallas is hearing that too.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you heard my phones go off, and now the horns are going out outside. So I actually need to hop off here and get my family together. So
Y'all get safe, man.
yeah, indeed. Sorry to cut the show. We gotta have you guys back to finish the show. I apologize for people who are watching, but I gotta go get this situated. So Dallas, be careful, bro. Y'all have a good one.
All right,
Yeah,
take care
be
now.
safe, man. Please
All right.
be safe.